Well, chances are you have heard the dire warnings about Fukushima radiation, and they seem to be everywhere these days, 3 years after the disaster. Well, tonight, Paul Diano takes a look at the fear and the reality.
Nearly 3 years after the earthquake and tsunami, the plant is still emitting radiation and likely will be for years.
From across the Pacific to your Facebook feed.
Fukushima radiation hit San Francisco.
Fear spreading from Fukushima has officially reached the West Coast.
It could go on for 40, 50 years.
People are worried and people want to know what's going on.
Some people are taking this issue very seriously, and they are refusing to buy fish because of radiation fears. So what's the reality? We asked Kai Vetter, a nuclear physics professor at UC Berkeley.
Good German or Swiss jam.
He's the kind of guy who orders jam from Europe so he can measure trace amounts of radiation from Chernobyl.
It's like almost 30 years after.
So what about that viral video of a man using a Geiger counter detecting high levels of radiation on a beach near Pacifica?
There you go.
A Geiger counter is not good enough at all.
Using an $80,000 gamma ray spectrometer, Vetter's team examined that same beach. Yes, they found radiation. But Vetter points out radiation is naturally occurring.
The variation we observe in the Geiger counter are due to natural variation of thorium and uranium in the sand of that beach. We have not seen any indication of cesium or anything which can be associated with releases from Fukushima.
That's not to say Fukushima radiation hasn't reached us.
As expected, 60 hours after the major releases, we were able to see radioactivity which we could associate with the releases in Fukushima here in the rainwater.
But those levels declined almost as quickly as they arrived.
The seals, the fish, the whole ecostructure.
Well, I'm not eating my sushi. I mean, it's good to be careful.
In 2011, Fukushima radiation was found in Pacific tuna and Alaska salmon, but in levels lower than the natural radioactivity of the fish.
The levels of the cesium we measure, whether it was the bluefin tuna in San Diego or whether it's the salmon in Alaska, are extremely small.
And this is where the professor vents frustration with internet disaster claims.
We are living in a world which is radioactive. We still see Cs137 back from the atmospheric tests in the 40s and 50s. We still see that it's in a way part of our natural background now.
A natural background so rich and complex that tracking cesium from Fukushima requires parsing it out from what's already there. And that brings us to another question we heard several times.
Who do we believe? Yeah, we believe, you tell me.
Is he affiliated with the Lawrence Livermore Lab?
Which is funded by? There you go.
That is a very good question, and it's trust is always something very precious. I certainly live in California, and I'm also concerned about my family and my neighbors and my friends. If you don't want to trust us, then who is it you want to trust?
Okay, for now, testing from Hawaii to California shows radiation levels too low to threaten human health or marine life.